Happy New Year, fellow practical spirits. Elizabeth here. I just wanted to start off the new year, 2026, talking about soul numbers and personal year numbers. So 2026 at a collective is a year one out of a 9-year cycle. We're always going through 9-year cycles and we start again. So a 1, why is it 1? Well, 2026, right? 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6, that's 10. Reduced to one number is 1. So at a collective level, this is the beginning of a new 9-year cycle for everyone. I do think on a major level, yes, we're going to see a turnover in the regime that we have. Someone may not be with us at the end of the year, so I'm just going to lay that there. Let you think about that. But the point is, there is the beginning of the 9-year cycle. Think where we were 9 years ago, right? So we're ending that, and then we're going to start anew. So 2026 is a 1 year, and we're going to talk about soul numbers and what that means. But for your soul number, I want you to take the digits of your birthday and then add them together and reduce them to 1. So let's just make this easy. Let's say you were born January 1st, 2000. Happy birthday, by the way. January 1st, 2000. That would be a 1 plus a 1 plus 2 and then 000. So that's 4, right? So your soul number would be a 4. Now you're in a year 1. So you're going to add 4 and 1. So your personal year will be a 5. So whenever we talk about soul numbers, for this year, you're going to add 1 to it. For example, my soul number is 8. This year, I'm in a soul journey 9. So I just want you to think about that. I'm going to talk about the soul numbers. I'm going to talk about your personal year very briefly, and then we'll pull a tarot card for each one just to kind of see the themes that are coming out for you. So let's start at the beginning. Soul number 1. Your digits probably added up to 10, just like I did, reduced to 1. As an individual, you have a deep-seated desire for independence, leadership, originality. It reflects a core need to be a pioneer or a leader, right? You need to create your own path. You're kind of very, it's like an Aries energy, right? You're very independent. You're very like my way or the highway, in a good way, You're driven by ambition. You're very courageous. There's a powerful will to innovate, right? We need you people for sure this year. People with this inner drive are self-reliant. You're insightful. You possess a strong judgment, good or bad. Be a little judgy. And then often you enjoy the spotlight and challenging routines to achieve greatness through your own efforts. You're kind of, like I said, an independent pioneer. Now, if your soul journey number, your soul year is 1, your personal year is going to be a 2, right? Because 2026 is a 1. So we do 1 plus 1 is a 2. So this year, it's kind of a year of patience for you, waiting, slow development, and balance. Cooperation with others is key. This year is kind of about the other, right? Because we're going from 1, we're splitting off into 2. Love, romance, parenthood could be on the offering for you, if that relates to you. While it's not typically a year to make life changes, it can herald a year of wanting to learn more about metaphysical things, religious interests, creative hobbies. It's a time to cultivate what you started last year, right? So let's actually look and see if we have any additional tarot insights just for your personal year of 2026. For soul journey 1s, what do we have? 10 of Wands. Yep, something is ending. Again, a 10 goes down to a 1. Queen of Cups, nurturing yourself. And the Chariot. Wow, this is kind of the year of the self as well. We talked about the other, but the Chariot is all about moving forward. It's about, again, kind of nurturing yourself or being there for other people, but it's like a one-on-one type of environment, right? You don't have to be there for everybody, but the Queen of Cups is very nurturing. She's kind of in charge of her emotions, but she doesn't jump at things, right? So it's not necessarily a year to lead faithfully into the unknown with your heart. Kind of guard your heart a little bit. The Ten of Wands just talks about you being very busy as well. This is about planning as well. Like maybe this year doesn't see a lot of fruition on that level, but this is a planning year for you, and something is definitely ending. Again, we talked about the cycle 9-year ending. So take advantage of that. You've been very busy, especially at the end of the year, and it's kind of time to really do what you want to do this year, not so much what others expect of you. Okay, let's talk about a 2. A soul journey number of 2. What does that mean? Well, your soul number, if you have a soul journey 2, you have a deep desire for peace, harmony, partnership, emotional connection, all of that, right? You're driven by high sensitivity, so you may be very sensitive. You have good intuition, and you're all about diplomacy. This is kind of like a Libra energy. You love to be a peacemaker, just in general, because your soul is number 2. So you want things to be balanced. You like to avoid conflict. You're not an instigator per se, not like the ones, right? The 2s are more about the balance. You can be assertive, but you value cooperation, right? It's about, again, working with the other. If it's for your personal year, because it's 2026, right? We take a 2, we add the 1, we end up with a 3, right? So your personal year of a 3, it's time for fun and enjoyment, baby. It's time to kind of get out there, be creative, creative self-expression. There can be, again, babies coming in. I don't know if that's relevant for you, maybe grandbabies. Self-promotion, salesmanship, communication. 3s are about out-of-the-box thinking. They're about building. It's a very masculine energy. The odd numbers are masculine, and the even numbers are more feminine. So masculine is more yang energy, right? It's more outward energy. It's a very external blossoming year. So it's about, kind of getting some gears in motion here of whatever you want to do. However, don't scatter your energies, right? 3s can be a little spazzy. You may need to focus a bit to actually see results. So while you might not see a material manifestation this year, this is again about building, laying the groundwork, and working with others, cooperation to get things done. So from a tarot's perspective, let's see what a soul number 2 or personal year 3 brings for us. 7 of Pentacles, yeah, perseverance. 8 of Pentacles, nice. This could be about work. And then 8 of Wands. Wow, it feels like work gets a little bit easier for you. Maybe you're putting yourself out there a little bit. This is also about kind of determining where you're at, and do you want to keep hoeing this row? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, are you getting the feedback that you want? Are the decisions that you made really what you want for this year? So there could be some pivot, but I feel like if you carry on with what you're doing, there is an auspicious end to that. I feel like you're moving in the right directions, and it feels like as the year goes on, things get easier for you. Kind of obstacles kind of move out of your way. So let's talk about soul number 3, which would be a personal year 4, right? Because we're adding the 2026. So for a soul number 3, people with soul journey 3, you have a desire for like inner expression, creativity, joy. You're kind of one of those people that can fall into a pile of dew and come out smelling like a rose, right? You're just kind of naturally buoyant that way. You're a natural communicator. You could be an entertainer. You're social butterflies. You have a gift of gab, wit. It's very Gemini energy, right? Artistic pursuits like writing, acting, painting, comedy, something that needs an outlet for your creativity. You're just very expansive, like kind of as a person, right? So you may not do well with like a desk job. You need something a little more creative. So that's kind of just a 3 at a very basic level for a soul journey. Now, that means your personal year is 4, right? Because we're 3 plus 1 is 4. So this could be a year of being more pragmatic, orderly, conservative. You're laying the foundations. It's a year of hard work that will eventually pay off. So I don't want to say you're bored. You're never bored, but there could be an energy of like a little bit of restriction of like, well, let's just kind of sit and lay the foundation because let's think long term, that type of thing. Perhaps this is not a year for a major career change. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm not saying that if a perfect job comes along, don't do it. I'm just saying like look at it, and does it give you something physical? Are you getting something like a new title, more money, of course, or a better schedule, or are you relocating? Like if it's something tangible like that, okay. But if you feel like, well, I just don't like where I'm at, I'm going to jump to this new thing, maybe not this year. Budgeting is important. Real estate, savings. I mean, money could be a major focus for you this year. So that being said, let's kind of see what tarot has to say about the soul number 3, personal year 4. What can we expect this year? Let's just see what's going on. So we have, the Hermit. That's funny. Yeah. Again, 4s are stability, right? King of Wands, interesting. Ace of Cups. Yeah, I mean, you're readying for something new, but this could be a time maybe to get a mentor. This could be a time to kind of like inner reflection. It's kind of like a 7, right? They're inner reflection, learning something new. It's not so much about action, but it could be more about learning. There literally can be somebody, like I said, a guru or a mentor or somebody who kind of comes in for you as well, that will point you in a new direction, something that your heart is aching for. Like you may take a class and like, the teacher is somebody you really connect with. So this is kind of like a year of learning. And if you are a teacher or a trainer, it's definitely a time to lay the foundation for an even higher level position in the future. So let's talk about the soul number 4, which would be a personal year 5, right? 4 plus 1, 5. So soul numbers for 4. If you're a 4, you crave stability. You crave order, practicality. Again, laying the foundations for something. It represents the builder, but you're finally getting some material manifestation. Do you know what I mean? Like things come from your efforts. You seek to create strong foundations. You support others. You bring a system of chaos through to stability, right? People look to you maybe in a crisis, right? Because you're a 4, and you bring stability. You're often methodical, logical, and thorough. You strive to be a reliable pillar of strength and security in life and in relationships. You're a strength in organization. Do you know what I mean? You're kind of like, well, everybody's freaking out. You're kind of like the calm core is what I want to say. You're very detail oriented. You're problem solving. You're all of those things. 4 is also the house ruled by Cancer, which is about the home. It's about the family. It's about, again, foundations, that type of thing. It's a very personal inner world as well, but family may be a focus for you just over your life, right? Maybe more so than other numbers. So your personal year would be a 5. A 5. And a 5 is the number of chaos. I love 5. 5 is change. Change. So you could see a release of restriction. You could expect significant changes maybe and inner restlessness. Travel, freedom, new relationships, artistic expression, throwing out what no longer serves you. I mean, 5 is kind of disruptive, right? I like it, but you have to be ready for that, right? So this could be fluctuating finances. You could find a new exciting career. Take that chance. Just make sure that you're doing your due diligence on that. Like, don't jump just to jump. Don't worry, it's all part of a cycle. Next year actually should be calmer, but this year, look for opportunities to change. Look for those opportunities to kind of shake things up, right? So let's see from a tarot perspective what your 5 year could bring for you. Soul number 4 in your 5 year. What are we looking at? 7 of Swords, yeah. Cut out the person or the situation that takes your energy, right? Knight Knave of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles, if you're into tarot. This is about planting the seed for something new. Again, change, right? 5 being an odd number is a masculine number. It's a yang number. So this is about change. And then the 5 of Swords. Wow, you have a lot of yang energy here. There can be somebody in your midst who's kind of a troublemaker, if I'm honest. So you want to be sure that you put them in their place, not physically, but just don't put your energy towards that, right? Because this could be a year of literally you deciding what you're going to put up with and what you're not going to put up with, and then making that move. All right, let's look at soul number 5. Soul number 5, which would be a personal year of 6, right? 2026 is a 1, so we're going to add 5 and 1. That's 6. Soul number 5s are interesting. You're a person with deep inner yearning for freedom, adventure, variety, change. You're just kind of naturally like that. You're kind of what I call the mismatcher, right? You shake things up. People may have told you that when you were younger, of like, oh, you know, you create chaos, or oh, you really push the envelope. It's not a bad thing, right? It's just, it's an interesting energy to come in with, right? You're not going to play by the rules, maybe. You're always looking for the extra, right? You're looking to get something out of what other people think is normal and foundational and calm. You don't want that. You want something very, very different. You attract people who are naturally curious, adaptable, resourceful. You're gifted communicators who thrive on new experiences, travel. You'll try anything once, right? Exploration, valuing independence, right? Excitement over routine. We talked about that. Often possessing a quick wit and a love of life's thrill and unconventional paths. So you're probably not going to follow the crowd, right? You're just kind of naturally not like that. You always want to find the path on your own. That makes this year a personal year 6. And 6 personal year, it's kind of like the 2 year. Again, it's a yin energy. It's more of a feminine energy. This is a time for settled conditions, right? So we may need to settle down a little bit. Peace, harmony. If you've been through it this last year, especially being a 5, it feels like things calm down this year. So I like that. Concerns about children or parents or relationships, home, family, they can kind of dominate your year. It's just something that you want to focus on. Focus on duty. Focus on obligations. Helping others, serving others. I mean, don't diminish yourself, don't deplete yourself, but this is a time to kind of look past your tornado, right, and see how you can help other people. However, don't get too wrapped up in other people's drama, right? We want to be sure to protect ourselves first. You're here to support, you're not here to save, right? Nobody's here to save anybody else. We're here to support the best that we can and let them go on their journey. Sometimes it's best to mind your own business. So I'm going to put that out there again for this year. So if you've been in drama, if people are pulling you into drama, this is kind of a year to be like, yeah, like I said, if you need something tangible I can help with, fine. But I'm not going to sit here for your drama. All right, let's see what a personal year of 6 could bring you. 6 of Wands, wow, recognition, nice. 9 of Wands for all your hard work. Yes, of course. 10 of Pentacles, wow, this actually could be a nice year for you money-wise. There's a lot of support around you. Again, you don't have to do it all yourself. You're very capable, and that's the problem. So I want to be sure that you're enlisting those around you who could support you, family, right, friends, relationships, lovers, all of that. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of the support that you have and realize that you don't have to do it alone, even though you can. All right. If your soul number is 6, this signifies a deep inner drive for love, harmony, balance, responsibility. You're kind of here to serve other people, not to your detriment, but you'll find these people in social work, teachers, nurses, doctors, those type of things, usually. You have a desire to nurture and serve others, like I said, but I want to be sure that you balance that out and realize that you're not here to save people. We do help people, of course, we help people. And your job may be, again, to heal people, which is awesome, but I want to be sure that you understand at a soul level, everybody's responsible for themselves. So Well, you help, you support, and you serve. You're not here to save people. You're a compassionate caregiver. You're a provider. You may have a lot of children, actually, or you may have a lot of people that you're responsible for in this lifetime. Again, avoid martyrdom, avoid over responsibility. Feed yourself first. That's the thing. Sixes are, again, yin energy. Very, you know what's right and wrong. You can be a little bit black and white in your thinking. It's like it's all right or it's all wrong. So kind of finding that balance between the two is good. A personal year, seven's a spiritual number, right? So this is a time for reflection, rest, meditation, retreat, soul searching, all of that, inner awareness, reevaluation, all of those things. So it's kind of a time to come out of that six shell and, start looking at the world as what more can you learn, right? What more can you do, again, as long as you maintain that balance. Any kind of research, metaphysical activity, interests, things like that are highlighted. A mentor actually would suit you very well. The 7 year is about, again, moving forward. So think about what you wanted to do when you were 6, maybe, and bring that back in over this year. You're curious, so I want you to lean in to that curiosity this year and see what else you can learn. Let's see what Tarot has to say about our lovely soul number 6s. I always view these souls as the very sensitive souls. There's something that says in Tarot that 6 is the master number. It's a special number. So 6s have a very unique place here. Love, beauty, harmony, all of that. So for your personal year 7, we've got the Knave of Wands, which is the Page of Wands in other decks. The Moon, lovely. And then the King of Wands. That's interesting. You're going from a Page of Wands to a King of Wands. So this is leveling up, right? It's leveling up. This is also about, yes, feeding your emotions, but realizing that even though you don't know something right now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't explore it. So the Moon is all about, yes, deception, but also about things not really seeming how they appear, right? There's something behind the surface on that. And as a personal year 7, you're all for digging through that. So this could be leveling up at work, getting a new skill, all of those kind of things. There's also travel that's really highlighted in these cards, but it's a nice year for just kind of getting, like I said, out of your shell, exploring, traveling, and learning. You want to understand things. You want to understand life's mysteries. Could be constantly reading. You could be constantly learning. You want to dig below the surface of things. You could be a good investigator, like that type of thing. People with this number are often seen as solitary, preferring study, research, quiet contemplation, valuing depth over superficiality, and possess a natural talent for uncovering facts and forming sound philosophical theories. Again, a very spiritual number. So you tend to just know things, and things just kind of make sense to you that may not make sense to other people. So as a 7, you're just constantly striving, constantly curious. You want to get to the bottom of things. Probably very good at school, or at least like the school part of it, maybe not the social part of it, but the learning part of it. For a personal year, that would make 8 your personal year this year in 2026. So this is a year of power and advancement. 8 is attainment, right? So it's advancement in the material world. Like we talked about the 7s kind of being like more introspective. The 8 is like out there, and they're making bank. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're getting some money, you could get a raise, of course. Business partnerships, property dealings go well for you. Real estate matters are great. Contracts, legal matters seem to kind of fall in your favor. Now is the time to reap what you've been sowing, right? This is a time for like 8 to actually see some milestones reach, some significant milestones. These aren't just like petty little things. This is like major things that are changing for you. Could be a change of residence as well. There could be alterations also in your long-standing relationships, marriage or not, right? It could be friends, it could be family relationships. But this is kind of a time to really reap and understand what you've sown and see the abundance that is around you. Because again, 8 is attainment, it's abundance. It's a very masculine energy, weirdly as well, even though it's an 8. So physical things really come in to support you this year. So it's a nice year. It's a nice year to have power and advancement in the external world. Let's get additional information for your personal year, 8s. 8 personal year for 2026. What are we bringing in? 3 of Cups. Yep, enjoyment. 9 of Pentacles. Wow, there's your money. 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is, again, abundance, self-sufficiency, being able to take care of yourself. This could be a turning point for you in that regard. You could be moving out, right, and finally getting your own place. And then the 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords, yes, can mean heartbreak, but more importantly, 3 is about, again, expansion, building, out-of-the-box thinking. So it could be saying that whatever leaves you this year is supposed to leave you, okay? So don't cling to things. It could also talk about not being bitter and remaining open-hearted no matter what happens. So the 3 of Swords, again, if swords are thoughts, this is literally coming up with a new idea, right? So it doesn't have to be heartbreak. But if that does happen during the year, understand that that's just a natural cycle of things. And like I said, don't cling to things. You've got a lot of support. You have the 3 of Cups on one side and the 3 of Swords. So somebody in your entourage, in your posse, could be leaving, or you could be leaving. Right? You could be going off on another adventure. So let that happen. I feel like this is kind of like a very independent year for you as well, and kind of standing on your own 2 feet. All right, let's look at soul number 8, which is a personal year of 9, right? Because 8 and 1 is 9, and 2026 is a 1 year. We've already talked about that. So your soul number 8, I'm actually a soul number 8 as well, so this resonates with me quite a bit. But people with a soul number of 8 have a deep inner desire for success, power, wealth, right? Material abundance, right? We could be very scarcity conscious people. So we like to have physical things around us. We like to obtain things and attain things throughout our life. We're driven by a strong ambition. We have leadership qualities. This can be, you just kind of like naturally rise to the surface, even though you don't want to be maybe a leader, but people kind of naturally look to you for the answer. A visionary mindset. Challenges can be a little egocentric. True. And focusing too heavy on the material world, right? I mean, 8s, again, yang energy, masculine energy. We can be overly focused externally, and we need to bring it internally, you know, like what feeds us, not just like what do I have around me, that type of thing. It's about mastering leadership and achieving balance between earthly and spiritual success, right? You're a very spiritual number anyway. It's a very auspicious number. But 8s are also about finishing up things because you're about to wind down a cycle. You're not there yet. We're still in the middle of it. But your personal year is 9, right? Which is about wrapping things up. So this year, this is, again, the end of the 9-year cycle for us. So it's time to wrap up major projects, maybe even your job, with anticipation to move into something different. Now, you may not actually make the move this year because, again, we're in a 9. We're not starting at a 1. But this is a time for wrapping up loose ends. I mean, truly, this is about really being discerning about what you want to take into the new year and what you don't want to take into the new year. But it feels more around physical objects, right? Like, it's a great time to clean house, right? It's a great time to get the hoarding sentimentality out of your world. So if you're holding on to things just to hold on to them, maybe clear that out. I think you'll actually feel better. One final push to get you to your goals. This is about don't give up now. This is literally like success is like just around the corner. So this personal year is literally about, you know, winding things down in anticipation of starting something brand new in 2027. So let's kind of see from a tarot perspective what us soul number 8s, personal year 9s, have in store. Let's just kind of see what's going on for us in 2026. Six of Wands, again, recognition, nice. Four of Cups. Four of Cups can, it's stability, right? But it can also talk about boredom. It can talk about, but you feel very emotionally secure, right? And that's kind of what we need to lean into, right? Away from the material stuff, more into like, how do I feel, right? And then we go with the Eight of Wands. Yeah, this kind of goes Six of Wands, Four of Cups, and Eight of Wands. Things kind of get easier. Things may go faster than you expect. It feels like obstacles are kind of moving out of your way, but don't turn your back on any new offers, any new partnerships. Just be open to those connections. It may not happen this year, but the people that you meet this year are very, very critical for your success going forward. So don't downplay anybody, right? Pay attention and say yes. Say yes. All right. Let us get into our last but not least group, the soul number 9s. Soul number 9s. You're like the hermit. You're very, I don't want to say advanced. It's not advanced, but you're very spiritual. You're humanitarian. You're here to serve humanity. That's kind of what you're here to do. This also traditionally signifies an old soul. We're all old souls. I know everybody says that, old soul. We're old souls, but some of us have more material experience than others, and some don't, right? Our soul may be just as old, but maybe we haven't incarnated as much. We don't have as much experience, right? Real world experience. So yes, old soul, but you've put it into use. Like you've always been kind of a beacon for humanity. You seek to bring wisdom to people, right? And compassion, not just wisdom, but compassion as well. People don't know what they don't know, right? And you're able to hold space for those people, more so maybe than anybody else. Often you do this through teaching, counseling, healing. You may be a natural healer as well. Embodying selflessness, high ideals, just a deep connection to humanity. Even if you could be sometimes naive about human nature, you kind of look to the best in people, and that can lead to disappointment. But understand at a soul level, we're pure, right? Like everybody's doing the best that they can, and you just kind of naturally give grace to people, which is it's a good skill to have. Your personal year is a 1, because we're going from the end of the 9-year cycle into a 1, and 2026 is a 1. So this is your year for sure. This is our collective number. This is a time for you to really lead. This is about being a leader. You're an independent decision maker. You see advancement and progress. You're really here. It's like the Fool card. You're here to really start a new endeavor. Think about where you want to be 9 years from now, like that type of energy. Like it's a major shift. This could be major moves, major relationships that are just starting to blossom, career advancement, all of those things. Or you could literally throw the baby out with the bathwater and start something new career-wise. You're like, oh, I was an engineer and now I want to be a painter. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. Like it's very significant here. However, do be careful of rash decisions or impulsive decisions. You could be given an opportunity to do something over, a mulligan, right? Like we're going to do it over, like, I don't really like where I ended up on 2025, so 2026, I'm literally coming at it from a fresh perspective, right? It doesn't mean you're repeating things. It just means that now that you have more wisdom, right, you maybe would do things a little bit differently. So this is a year to go for it. That's what I would say. So let's kind of see what the tarot has to say for our soul journey 9s, personal year 1s, right? Like our collective. So what are the soul number 9s, personal year 1s? What can they expect? Oh, the Hierophant, of course. Yeah. Teaching other people. This is tradition. Like I said, old soul. This can be an old soul. The Hierophant is kind of an expert as well. I don't know if you can see it in the image, but literally the owl is giving counsel to the cat, right? So you have a lot of wisdom to share. You just kind of naturally That's what you're here to do. Again, is to communicate, to teach, all of those things. Ooh, and the devil, I love it. I love it. And then the Six of Swords. Yeah, so this can literally be like exorcising demons, metaphysically speaking. These cards are very different. So you kind of have an opportunity to help those, maybe with addiction. Maybe you work with people with addiction, or you work with the mentally challenged, right? Or people with mental health issues, right? That could be a thing for you. You could be dealing with a vice that maybe you're seeking counseling on. I'm just going to put it out there, right? The Six of Swords does talk about things getting better. It feels like you're on a good road. If that is your situation, it feels like this year is going to be a good road for you. But it's also a year, again, of freedom. We're ending the 9-year cycle. The devil is about restriction. We could be breaking that restriction. It just feels like your mind is more harmonious this year. So if you struggled with that, or if you know people who struggled with that, it feels like either you could help them, or if it's you, then we get on a better road for 2026. So I hope that was helpful, everyone. I look forward to this year, 2026. It feels very fresh to me. I know we've been dealing with some stuff over the last few years, but then again, think about the 9-year cycle. Sound familiar? Okay, I'm gonna put it out there. We are ending that cycle. We're ending that cycle. So again, I do look for the regime to fall, if that's the right word, but it's not completely decimated, but there is a big change coming. So prayers for that. I wish you the best. Go to my site, practicalspirit.net. Look at my YouTube channel. I've got more videos out there. Book a reading today, and let's kind of see what specifically is in store for you for 2026.